All right, we're here with another episode of Supervisor Said What. All right, guys, so let's finally get into it. We're going to talk a little bit about the beginning of the history. We're not going to, of the history of the oil field. We're not going to like hit it super in depth. I'm going to give you what I think you need to know to be able to move on with the story. It's going to be several episodes, I'm sure, because there's a lot. There's a lot, and it's mainly about one piece of shit, and that's John Rockefeller. So we'll be getting into that in a second. Anyways, despite most people thinking that oil was probably found in Texas to begin with, they'd be wrong. In 1859, a man named Edwin Drake struck oil in Titusville, Pennsylvania, and that was basically the East's gold rush. Okay, so the gold rush in California, this was basically the East's gold rush was, black gold. Basically, everyone's just punching random fucking holes in the ground up in PA, no science behind it. We're just fucking stabbing and praying. But there's one guy, while everybody else just looks at the ground, he is looking at maps. He is formulating a plan. He's trying to invoke real science. Okay, and for the industry, 100%, he was great for the industry. He revolutionized a lot of things. Unfortunately, the greed overtook him, as it will most people. They say money is the root of all evil, and I personally don't believe that the money is the root of all evil. I know plenty of poor people that do terrible fucking things, and there are several people with large, copious amounts of money that do good things. I don't know if they do bad things too, but I do see a lot of good things, and we're going to get into some of that on a later date. But I just don't believe that money is the root of all evil. We're conditioned to believe that, and I think we're conditioned to believe that. And I know this is tinfoil hat shit, but fuck y'all, I don't care. We're conditioned to believe that money is the root of all evil, so that we won't really try to acquire it. We'll be happy being broke. You'll have nothing, and you'll be happy. Um, but anyways, personal opinion. Um, so, anyways, by the time Rockefeller got done, he wouldn't just die the richest man in the country. He would be the most hated man in the country at the time of his death. Um, Rockefeller's choice of weapon was never a gun or his fist. It was always a ledger. There's no doubting that the man was one hell of a fucking businessman, guys. The dude understood, and he understood how to monopolize the whole fucking industry. And he did that. He done that well. Um, he executed in what we call now the Cleveland Massacre. So in less than 4 months, okay, in we'll just call it 4 months, he bought out 22 of 26 of his competitors in Cleveland in 4 fucking months. Okay, there's no denying the man can run a fucking company. He can run that motherfucker. He's just a fucking dick, is the problem. Um, so basically, what it would come down to is he would walk into their offices, his competitors' offices, and he already had their information. Okay, he had all of their books. He had spies. He done corporate espionage. He partook in that. So he already had the numbers that his competitors were operating at, and he would just go in their office and say, "Listen, this is what you're doing, and here's my numbers, and I'm outperforming you by a long shot. So you can either sell to me for literal pennies of what the company was actually worth, or he would just drop the prices around you from on Standard Oil, which was the name of his company. He would just drop the prices so cheap that you couldn't afford as a mom and pop to do business with him in the area. Like he would just kill you. And it's what happened. He bankrupted all of those companies in 4 fucking months, or he bought them out for pennies on the fucking dollar, if even pennies. Like he was fucking savage, guys. He was a douchebag, but he was a smart douchebag. Um, so he had another secret weapon as well that Rockefeller had that I don't know if a lot of people knew about. Um, John Rockefeller made a deal, an unholy deal, an alliance with the railroad. So basically, what they done was they agreed to double the shipping price, the shipping rates of his competitors, and while doing so, they give Rockefeller rebates, discounts, and drawbacks, meaning he actually got a cut of the money that his competitors paid to ship their oil. This man literally, before it's over, has his man on pretty much every fucking inch of the industry. So he had, like I mentioned, he had spies and stuff like that, whole ass intelligent network that he actually called his secret service. Um, they would track the shipments of independent oil dealers, and then when they would find out where those shipments were going, he would have where they're shipping from. He was already getting a cut from their shipments, and he would just show up, pop a store up, and would again drive the price so fucking cheap because he could afford to do it that these local guys just could not sell at that price. So again, they would go bankrupt. Um, he was a bit of an anaconda. You know what I mean? He just squeezed the fucking shit out of these poor bastards. Um, Now, Rockefeller was also smart in the sense that he had bogus companies, shell companies is what we know that as. Um, Basically, it was an illusion, like every major fucking company in the U.S. now, they gave them the appearance of choices. So if you didn't want to buy from Big Standard Oil, because fuck them, fight the machine, uh, sorry, then he would have shell companies that were tied to him, but on paper, on the surface, and even somewhat kind of below the surface, you couldn't tell that that company was tied to Standard Oil. So, anyways, so it gave the illusion to the little man, like, you know what? Even though it costs a little more, I would much rather give this mom and pa my fucking dollar than that piece of shit Rockefeller. And it was all connected at the top. It was all going to fucking Rockefeller's fucking dime, anyways. Um, that these giant oil tycoons or any businessman that's made it big, they've all got one person that's a thorn in their fucking ass, dude. And Rockefeller's was Ida Tarbell. Um, Her father was actually one of the people that Rockefeller ran into the ground in Pennsylvania, causing him to bankrupt and close his oil company. So she didn't fucking like him. And you know what? We're going to stop right there for a second. And I just want to say this. You're going to hear a lot of females in my history classes, okay? I don't think they get the credit they deserve. There is a lot of women in history that done some gangster ass shit. And I think it's great. It's hilarious. And I feel like we overlook that way too much. Everything from women inventors to uh, these fucking women taking on fucking super powerful people. Like, you know what I mean? Not a fucking man. This fucking tiny ass woman was like, you know what? No, fuck this dude. Fuck him. The worst that happens is I die. Oh, I didn't give a fuck. All right. So, anyways, back on track. She was basically his uh, thorn in the ass. And she spent years, and I do mean years, investigating all of his secret deals. And she published a book, The History of the Standard Oil Company. Her work fueled public outrage that led to the Supreme Court to finally do the unthinkable. It was in 1911. Um, they they ordered Standard Oil to be broken up. Rockefeller died, the wealthiest man, but his legacy is a warning. He proved that without any oversight, an industry meant to power the world can easily become a force that consumes it. And I think that's really important that we read that again because in today's society, I think it still holds weight. He proved that without oversight, an industry meant to power the world can easily become a force that consumes it. And we're already back there. The people that's doing it now's last name isn't Rockefeller, but Rockefeller wrote the game plan. And now that we have such a corrupt and dirty fucking everything from local to state to federal, there is no more oversight because everybody's getting our fucking pennies. Everybody's getting our fucking tax dollars. Well, they're going. They ain't getting mine, but but they getting y'all's. I'm sick of it. I give a shout out to my guy at Iron Patch Hat. You can go to ironpatchhat.com and at checkout use supervisor said what for a discount. It helps me and it helps a man that's just trying to provide for his family. He spent 10 years in the industry and he decided to go home, start this brand so that he can be home and leave a legacy for his kid. So support him. He does a lot of stuff for me and I can't tell you how much I appreciate him. So, the first episode of Supervisor Said What. Thank you guys all for joining me. There's a lot more coming. I'll get some more details on these giveaways. I do know the very first giveaway is going to be um, a Yes Welder that was sponsored to me by a Yes Welder on TikTok, and I would like to give that out for the first giveaway to a kid that shows the interest of learning how to weld. It's a good little machine. I like it. I played with it a little bit. Um, for now, guys, I can rack them, stack them, and go home safe.